Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal captain, Gear 100, has returned yet again for another video for you guys today. And today, guys, it is, probably Friday, January 9th. By the time I'm recording this, it's like, 5, 6 to close to 7:30 when I'm recording this. I will be gone throughout the entire week because due to work purposes. So, also, we've hit 425 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing. Hope you guys do like it. Also, I'm going to say this. Make sure, get this video to 5 likes, and I will continue this. I'll say this again. Guys, we're doing this for one last roll. What if my character was in My Hero Academia? This is going to be taking a very interesting turn right here, because we're going to be putting some really unique characters in here, and the story is going to be going really, really wild for this. We still got to keep the story the same as the narrative of what's going on, but the characters will be different in what you guys expect for it. So, with that being said, let's just get to it. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Cue the intro.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Alright guys, before we get into the story, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, turn your bell post notifications on. It's always free and you can change your mind later. But at the same time, it lets me know that you guys always want to see more of my videos and you like my content. Come on, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. What I want to do is break 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. That'll be a new meme. Gear 100 gets 1,000 subscribers before GTA 6 comes out, because they've delayed us another time. But anyway, now's not the time for that. Let's get into the story. So, how would my character come about? Oh, if you guys want to know, my character's name is Ryuo. That's R-Y-U-O. And Haki, H-A-K-I. Ryuo Haki. Ryuo Haki. That's Haki. Or Haki. However you guys want to say his name. But it's different. Now, just like the power I'm giving him will be a mixture of a lot of things. I call this power God's Sage. God's legend, God's champion, but God's Sage. So it's kind of like a mixture of the Great Sage, like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, the system from Solo Leveling, any other kind of RPG game-like system, but making it into a godly figure, specifically created by the one true God. And just putting that into someone who's blessed to save the world and change it for the better. So you know what? That's exactly what we're going to do. A male boy, Ryuo Haki, is blessed by God and has gotten the greatest power anyone could ever have in all of fiction. And don't you guys worry, yeah, this is my character, still shipped with female Izuku, aka Izumi. I'm not changing my mind on that one. But, hey, the story is going to be a lot more complex, and it'll be a lot more fleshed out. So, hopefully you guys will like what I've got in store for you. Let's begin. Okay, anyway, guys, as you guys can see, my character has a tail. So, yes, to give you the depiction of the story right now, my character is a Saiyan blessed with the power of the Great Sage. Well, the God's Sage. That's what I'm calling it now. So, God's Sage. And you guys might be wondering, which kind of Saiyan am I doing this as? Well, it's kind of unique in its own way, but hey, I find it really cool with what I'm about to do, so just bear with me on this one. So, it's going to be a few designs taken, but first, let's just go with the base look. Check it out. Obviously, not my art, so I'm just taking a few bit of inspirations. So yeah, pointed Uzaru ears. You see the eyes are black and red on the inside, and a darker skin complexion. I mean, my character's black anyway, so I don't really care. But hey, still keeping it right there. So that's kind of more of the base look, but also, there's also some other very unique things. Also having, paw pads come with it. Yep, natural claws and paw pads. That's a very unique thing about my character. But anyway, now onto the more unique Saiyan-like qualities. Let me show you. Here, this. So, okay, this hairstyle right here would be my natural hairstyle. But just imagine the front bangs come all the way down and cover my actual, face down to my nose. So no one actually knows what, my real face looks like unless I show you. But this is like the base hairstyle. Except for that, long kind of ponytail thing going down like the side of his ear. I don't really like that. But also, I really like the fur complexion right here. It looks really nice. But you know how all Saiyans are. They naturally have, black hair and black... So, yeah. The natural black hair and black fur with the darker skin complexion is still a thing. But the eyes... I'm going to keep the normal. I mean, still got regular eyes. Regular white eyes with kind of like a brown, almost black complexion with, red in the middle. And naturally having gloves on is a cool thing. But my hero costume will look much better than this, so just bear with me. But anyway, still not done yet. Still just putting a bit of a tips more onto the design for a bit. Just want to add there, I have a bit of the Sun Wukong bits. The little face tattoos that he naturally... Face markings that he has on his cheeks going down. Yeah, just the same markings to mark, God and all that kind of insignia and stuff like that. There will be more later on, but anyway, back to it. So, back to the more origin story. Just wanted to tell you what he looks like in much more descriptive nature. Anyway, back to it. Alright, anyway. Ryuo lived a pretty average life. Both of his parents worked hard, and he had siblings. Well, he was the middle child. In total, there were 5 of them. Wait, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. And actually, there were 6 siblings. He was pretty much the middle child. His older siblings had gotten regular jobs because, well, they were seen as something, not too out of the ordinary, but it could have been great if they wanted it to be. But his younger siblings don't seem to be interested in that. But Ryuo had a dream. He wanted to be a hero. Just like every other kid that had seen it, he saw All Might's debut. And he decided right then and there that's what he wanted to become. So right then and there, he dedicated himself to his training. And the sage was there to help him every step of the way. Guide him by telling him what he had to do. And the sage activated for the first time. But there's something weird about his quirk, or his power. It could never be registered whenever they went to the doctor. They just never found anything. And they've done the thorough examinations that all they could have done, but they just never found anything. But it was pretty clear that their son had a quirk, that Ryuo had a quirk, because obviously he has fur, like kind of like a monkey. He has spiky hair, and he has, a monkey tail. That has to ensue something. But the doctor just couldn't find anything. Doesn't know why, but oh well, that's just what it is, I guess. But then again, this is where the quirk singularity theory had come into play. Maybe the quirk had become so powerful or had infused into his DNA so much that it just couldn't be registered. I guess this is the next step in quirk evolution. Quirks becoming immersed into a person's pure biology that it just can't be picked up anymore. Well then, but it doesn't matter. The sage was there to help Ryuo every step of the way. All Ryuo had to do was call for it. Sage, at your service, sir. Prologue, step 1. Training to become a hero. 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and a 10K run every single day. Is this really how we start? Yes. The training will get progressively harder as we get stronger, but this is the only time we can. Also, giving it just a bit of a heads up. Yeah, the legendary Super Saiyan and, Universe 6's Saiyan biology, which they have more outright raw potential, but I don't really care. They're just more naturally gifted, so they can go Super Saiyan easier. Having all that good high potential there, so I don't really care. You guys know what about. I always make my character OP as fuck, so hey, might as well go along with it. So with that being said, the training immediately began. So the workouts were their own thing, but training how to use my base power was also something else. Because, as a Saiyan, I had to learn how to use ki and everything. But thankfully, the sage was there to help me train effectively and the right way. And, well, you guys will see key manipulation and the powers of that later on. And you guys will see that those powers aren't just, well, for the character I'm setting, but they're also my powers. But they're also for the future as well, so don't worry about that. As basically, any small amount of training I do is leading to my power growing even higher and higher. Just how high was my natural potential? Who knows? But hey, we'll see about that. So anyway, now we cut to the age of around 5. I'm going to like around an average kindergarten, maybe first grade. Until I see a group of other boys picking on this one other like classmate of mine, a girl. Just imagine this is a kid version of my character. Okay, so just go along with it, please. So, being the person that I am, I immediately get up and fly over there and get in between them. Hey, stop it! Like, oh look, if it isn't the monkey boy. Oh great, I know this kid. This boy was named Katsuki Bakugo. His quirk, well, I mean, it was a pretty good quirk, I'm not even gonna lie from my point of view. His quirk was, well, Explosion, a powerful and flashy quirk. But still, he wasn't stronger than me. My base power alone was enough to easily beat Bakugo, and he knew it. We fought a few times, and every time we did, I would always win with very little difficulty, humbling Bakugo every time I got in the way. But Bakugo's ego had never satiated since then, always striving to be better. But still, back to knowing this time I would not allow this to happen. He continued to talk. What do you think you're doing? Getting in my way again? Stopping you from being a villain. What did you call me? You heard what I said. You're a villain. Picking on people. Like, what do you mean? I'm just letting a useless Deku know her place. As I turn around, and I finally see the kid that, well, he was picking on. It was a girl. A very small girl. Well, short, even for kindergartner standards. She was short. She had green and black hair. Kind of a mixture. But, well, and she was protecting this other kid from getting bullied by Bakugo and the others. Wow, I didn't even notice him. But she looked up at me with tears in her eyes. As immediately I started to get a bit frustrated and turned back around. That's enough. Now back off. Bakugo knew if it really came down to it, he would lose the fight. But still, his pride would never allow him to back down. Oh, are you looking down on me? When will you ever get it through your head? This isn't about you. Not everything in the world is about you, Bakugo. Whatever. Like, guys, let's jump. Let's teach this monkey his place, that he belongs in the zoo. Getting ready for a fight once more, I get into my fighting stance that the great sage has taught me. Thankfully, due to our training over the next, well, I've had this power since I was born, so it doesn't really matter. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. Due to thankfully having this power for 3 years, I already knew my fighting style and everything. So when the other bullies came at me, those two were very easy to deal with. Long fingers and just having and a fat kid with wings. Honestly, that's not really that hard to deal with. Bakugo himself was going to be the problem. And of course, he always started with a large left hook, swinging with his quirk. It was so easy to predict. I didn't even have to do much. I just grabbed his arm and I threw him over me. I'm kind of paying homage to the regular manga and anime itself, but remember, this will have a play in the story later on, so just go with it. And just throwing him over my shoulder, slamming him into the ground of the playground. Bakugo was stunned that stuff like that had actually happened. He would always lose a fight to me, but this was different. I don't know why, but I was even more angry. But Bakugo tried to get back up again, but instead I wouldn't let him. I blasted him with my quirk, obviously holding back my ki. I didn't really want to hurt him or injure him. Based on the Sage's calculations, it estimated that my power was at 1 million. Wait, no. Yeah, it estimated that my power was at 1 million in base form, and this is me not even powered up or even trying to make myself stronger. This is just my base power. So I had to focus on suppressing my abilities and really focusing on not hurting him. But Bakugo obviously showed signs of pain. But still, when the teacher had come out, we all acted like everything was normal. Even the kids just pretended that like they tripped. Bakugo and his goons had walked away, looking at me with a death glare. "This isn't over," he said, while finally walking away from the scene. After that was over, I finally looked back over to the kid that they were bullying. The one that the green-haired kid was protecting had already ran off, but the green-haired girl was still like on the floor looking at me, but seemed to be in awe and shock. I had simply just walked over to her and, well, now I had offered my hand to help her up. She had grabbed it and I had pulled her up effortlessly. "Are you okay?" I asked. "That was awesome," the green-haired girl had said. You were so cool. What is your quirk?" "Oh, my quirk? Well, I call it God's Sage. I call it God's Sage." "God's Sage?" "Mm-hmm. The God System, God's Sage, God's Champion, whatever it is. But, hey, but my power describes as this. I've been blessed by the gods. It's pretty much an RPG-like game that helps me level up continuously and gain more skills and more power." This green-haired girl looked so fascinated. In fact, she pulled out a notebook, seemingly out of nowhere, and started writing in it. Like, "Cool. I think I've seen you in class a few times, but we've never actually talked. What's your name?" "Oh, I'm Ryuo Haki." "Yeah, I'm Ryuo Haki." Like, "Oh, amazing." And then I asked her, "Wait, I think I've known you before. You're, Midoriya, right?" "Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, you're Midoriya. Yeah, you're Midoriya, aren't you?" "Yes, yes, that's me. You know about me?" A little bit, but not much. I was kind of always focused on my training and never really paid attention to much in class. I just did the work and then did the rest of training." "Oh, well, then I guess you don't know." "Know what?" I'm quirkless." "Quirkless?" "Yeah." "Honestly, that isn't..." "Oh, okay." "Wait, okay? Yeah, that doesn't bother me in the slightest." Like, but how? Like, what do you want to be?" I want to be a hero, but everyone says I can't do it because I'm quirkless." "Fuck 'em." Like, what'd you just... Fuck 'em. Like, but who are they to say whether you can be a hero or not? It's not up to any of them. Honestly, it really shouldn't matter that much if you become a hero or not. But if that's what you want to be, then go ahead and do it. You really think I can?" "Of course. Why can't you?" "I mean, but I won't be a great hero like you. It doesn't matter. You want like, is your goal to be number one or just a hero in general?" "Well, I want to be a hero." "All right, hey, see, look, you're already on the right start. Now, what kind of hero do you want to be?" I want to be a hero like All Might. Someone who saves them with a smile. I want people to know that they're going to be okay whenever I'm around. Now that's a good goal to strive to be. Hey, you know what? You want to be friends? What? Huh? Yeah. Like, friends. You mean actual friends? You want to be my friend? Of course. Why not? I don't care. But what about everyone else? Fuck them. Keep in mind, this is like a 5-year-old saying fuck them. So that's honestly funny as hell. So just imagine that. Just fuck them. Like, listen, Midoriya. Oh wait, hold on. Let me really introduce myself. I'm Ryuo Haki. My goal is to be the next #1 hero. A strong hero. The savior of the hope of the universe. No, the savior of all. And I will gladly be your first friend. Kid Ryuo stuck out his hand. "Nice to meet you. What's your name?" As the girl started to shed a tear for a second, starting to cry, but starting to wipe it a bit, as she stuck her hand out too. "I'm Izumi Midoriya. It's nice to meet you, Ryuo. Thank you for being my friend." "Of course." And my character just smiles. "Of course. So, let's get to know each other first. As now we go to the swings just to start to wait, no, not to scratch that. As the lunch bell rings. Hey, it's lunch. You want to sit together? Sure. But what about Izumi? Do I have to tell you again? But fuck him. As I grab her arm and I start pulling her with me to lunch. Let's go eat. As she just smiles and kind of blushes red for a second before, going back to her senses. Okay. As both walk into the lunchroom, awaiting our adventures together. So this is the story of how I met Izumi, guys. But we're going to be continuing on for a few years later. We're 5 at this point. Cutting to 5 years later. As now we've both been training. Well, I've been training for about 8 years now. Izumi's been training ever since she's seen me. We're both training to be heroes, so hey, it doesn't matter that much. So hold on, back to my character just for a second, so to continue the story. Lots of things have gone by in the past 5 years. I'm 10, but sheesh, I've gotten all the way up to Super Saiyan Blue level. Well, even past that. I've mastered every single Super Saiyan form, including the legendary form. Heck, even some fan-made forms like Omni God and everything. So honestly, at the age of 10, I'm doing a lot. Oh, also, just like the solo leveling shit, I also have dungeons in order to increase my level and my power as well. My stats are looking quite crazy right now, but we're not on that. But Izumi's been joining me every now and then. Wait, no, Izumi joins me every time we go on a dungeon raid. I've already met Inko at this point, and they've met my parents. But the thing is, I'm waiting for Izumi's 10th birthday. You see... Oh, it's also canon that Deku is actually the youngest in the class, while Bakugo is oldest because Deku's birthday is July 15th. Bakugo's birthday is April 15th. Anyway, continuing on to that. I mean, my birthday is May 23rd, so I'm probably the third, I'm probably second to third from being the youngest in the class, but that's not the point right now. Just keep in mind. Just know that solo leveling type of items are going to come in handy for this one. As basically right now, what I'm doing is being in a dungeon raid by myself, trying to gain something. Ever since I knew I could gain items from my dungeon raids, and I could gain rune stones, which give me extra ability / power, there's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. Even though I've been training with Izumi, I know she's been sort of depressed. Oops. I thought I turned on Do Not Disturb. Well, whatever. Hold on, let me turn it on right now. Alright, sorry about that. But like I was saying, I could see that Izumi was extremely depressed. She would always get picked on and bullied for not having a quirk. I mean, I would always get the recipient end for, well, I would always get the shorter end of the stick because I had a quirk. But even still, but no one would really mess with me because they knew how strong I was. But every time I left Izumi alone for any reason, she would always get picked on. Everyone poking fun at us because that she needs her bodyguard or boyfriend to come and save her. I mean, we would both blush at the notion, but it's not like I wouldn't be opposed to being with Izumi. But anyway, that's not besides the point. I always knew she was sad. So I've been looking for a way to change that. She would always get excited about talking about the aspects of quirks. But the thing is, we would always read comics with each other. Always being happy and just being near each other. But I could tell that could only do so much. As we would watch different animes and read different mangas. Also, guys, just for the sake of this, I'm bringing some Medaka Box logic into this. If you guys don't know what Medaka Box is, you're uncultured and you should watch it. So we would read mangas upon One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Boruto, Bleach, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and even the Medaka Box nature itself. And even finding old comic books of DC and Marvel superheroes. Keep in mind, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, these comics and other things that I'm talking about don't really exist in the My Hero Academia lore. Well, I'm just saying that they don't because due to the story. But this is all gonna make sense later on why we're doing this, because I really wanted to do this thing right here. So anyway, being on with something like that, Izumi, on one hand, was still sad even though we were reading comics together. I asked her, out of all the comics we've read, what is her favorite superhero? And She said her favorite hero was, well, Superman, the symbol of hope. He has such godly power, and yet he chooses to do good with it. He's just a guy doing the right thing, and that's what makes him so amazing. And Izumi stating that she wishes she had the abilities like that. That way she could change the world. I've been purposely withholding information upon the runestones on purpose for Izumi, because her 10th birthday is coming up, and now I wanted to surprise her. But anyway, after a long and arduous, well, being in dungeons and leveling up, finally there was one mini boss level that I could do. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna describe the dungeon rate to you guys. All right, prepare for this. Here we go. One of my true tests. One of the people I was kind of designed after. Well, I really wouldn't know that, but here we are. Rimuru Tempest himself. If I ever wanted to do this for Izumi, then I would need his power. Now, Rimuru is no doubt one of the strongest characters in like anime history. I'm also using light novel Rimuru. I'm not using like no watered down anime version. This is the strongest, most peak version of Rimuru I can get. So you can only decide how just broken and overpowered he is. Oh jeez. But I'm just gonna say, for the sake of the plot, I ended up winning the fight. But hey, going all out was no easy feat. But I will show you the transformation I used though for that. I ended up going super just to win that fight. Yeah, like I said, guys, developed so much power beyond that, well, you guys will see much more power that I've acquired over time. But super was enough to beat Rimuru. And after, well, you have defeated Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest. Simple. Collect! And instantly, Rimuru became one of my soldiers. Nice. You have gained a mythical reward. Would you like to claim? Yes, no. Yes. And upon realizing what I have gotten, I realized that, well, finally, I found what I wanted. Now, for Izumi's 10th birthday, I could gift her with this. This is going to be awesome. So let's cut to that 10th birthday, shall we? Alright, here we are. Finally, it's Izumi's 10th birthday. Obviously, no one else showed up because she was quirkless, but I did. My parents weren't there. It was just me, Izumi, and Inko, as Izumi's father wasn't in the picture for some unknown reason, but who cares? That's fine. As finally Izumi blew out the cake, it was time for a present. She opened her mother's first, and it was a limited edition All Might figurine, with some other things. And then it was finally my turn. I waited for this for such a long time. A while to give this to her. It was wrapped up in a nice red wrapping and a green bow on a box. As well, I tell her before she opened this, Izumi, I've seen the ways you look at me and everyone else. The looks that you have when you don't have a quirk. When everyone underestimates you all the time and you think you can't do it. I see the doubt in your eyes. I know it makes you happy when I say I believe in you, but I want to put you on that same level as everyone else. You see, well, the dungeon raids I've been going on have been getting harder and harder, and I know you've been feeling like you've been holding me back and that you're not enough, which is why I want to give you this thing to show you that I really do believe. I believe that you want to be a hero. And this gift right here will make that possible. And here we go. So Izumi's starting to get watery-eyed as, well, not yet. She's starting to get confused as I hand over the box. And as she opens it, she sees a platinum crystal. What is this? Here we go. What the? We've been friends for a long time, Izumi. I trust you fully with all of this. You know my powers, the ins and out, and everything about it. You remember that one time when we read a comic where Superman tried to give Batman his powers through platinum kryptonite. As she looks up, her eyes go wide at the realization. No, there's no way. My recent dungeon raid let me get a mythical item, and the mythical item was a wish. One singular wish. I can fulfill any desire that I wanted. I could have wished for anything, and I chose to wish for the platinum kryptonite. It gives you powers. That platinum kryptonite is real, and it will give you power. Powers just like Superman's. Just touch it, Izumi. Just once, and it lasts a lifetime. Then you and me can fight together. We can be heroes together. You can be the hero you've always wanted to be. The hero that saves others with a smile. You could be just like All Might. No, you could be even better. You could be you. Be your own hero. Represent what you want to represent. Do your grandmother proud. Well, I don't say that point, but I say you could be a hero just like your grandmother was. As Izumi starts to get teary-eyed and, well, cry at this. You really did this for me? As Inko also couldn't believe it. She didn't believe that this was real at first, but after hearing about my powers, well, anything were possible. But to actually believe that I would go out of my way for this is truly unheard of. She truly couldn't believe it. But, well, Izumi was struggling to reach her hand out to the crystal. Honestly, what I do is grab it out of the box. I know this would influence me as well, but I don't hesitate. Like, warning, like platinum kryptonite imbued with cells. You have now gained Kryptonian abilities. As I reach out my hand and grab Izumi's hand, I place the one part of the crystal in my right hand, and I clasp my hands together with Izumi's left hand, giving her the abilities. This is now your path, Izumi. You can be just as strong as me, if not stronger. This is all up to you now. As Izumi can feel the crystal giving her the power. And finally, once like a bright light had shined, and once it had happened, Izumi didn't see the crystal anymore. Well, unintentionally, I also gained the abilities of a Kryptonian, but hey, so did Izumi. That was the main point. And you guys might be asking, what version of Superman powers did I give her? Well, it was Comp Superman. I gave her all of them. Well, pretty much pretty good major ones that I could find. But in case you guys are wondering, don't worry, I will be displaying those powers right now for you right now. Alright everyone, so we're here in the power scaling. Where does this scale? So when I do the Comp Sonic, I mean all Sonics like that exist, every single one of their powers, their uniqueness, even the Archie Sonic comics and Archie Shadow. So even, that extreme amount of chaos control with the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds. So this female Izuku here has, well, a super forms all the way 1 to 3. Yes, even Supersonic 2 from the, Frontier games, even the skills from those, those games and all that, and all the Superman transformations. So comp like Sonic and, comp Superman together, which is extremely busted, which how I'm going to do it. But anyway, we're going to go down into the powers of the Superman that I'm giving her. So this will all be compiled into one big thing here. Whoops, no. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, regular Superman, Clark Kent. Alright, let's get to the powers. I'll see you there. Alright, we're here. Powers and abilities. So, let's just go to it. We got a lot of Superman to go through. So, this is compiling this into one big thing. So, let's just do it. There we go. Also, if you guys want to know, this is today when I'm recording. When I'm doing this process, going through the powers, it's like, January 8th. Yeah, it's not the 9th. I'm doing this part on the 8th, the day before. So this is ridiculous. So I'm exhausted. And I just got back from work. So, yeah, I'm exhausted, but this part needs to be done. Okay, no weaknesses and all that. Anyway, I'm just giving her all the good sides, no the bad sides. Anyway, next Superman powers. I'll see you there. Alright, we're on the next point. Okay, Earth Prime, which is, Superboy Prime. Anyway, see you at the powers. Let's just go. Alright, we're here in the powers and abilities. We're just going to get all the good stuff. We don't really have any of the weaknesses because, well, with the power of the Chaos Emeralds, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, alright, there is that one. Now on to the next Superman. Okay, guys, we're on the next Superman powers, and these are Superman's powers and abilities, like, over the years that we've known him. But in this sense, it doesn't really matter too much, but we're getting into this, so we're just gonna go down. Yeah, like I said, I'm not giving her any of the weaknesses, just all the good benefits and everything. Okay, that's that. Anyway, on to the next one. Alright, guys, we're on to the next one. This is the Cosmic Armor Superman. And when I say Comp Superman, I mean all of them, even the Thought Robot. So, yeah, this one as well. Stupid ad, always in my way. Stupid thing. Alright, there we go. Alright, so just read all of this. Or pause and read. There's that one. On to the next Superman. Okay, now we're in the Superman of the Absolute Universe, so on to the powers. Alright, now we're here with this one, so, oh boy. It's kind of all the same thing, but some of these Superman here have, some unique abilities, so I'm just trying not to miss out on anything. Yeah, there's that one. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, now we're on to the much more coolest Superman, and this is the Last Sun Superman. So we're going to move on to his abilities. Alright, here we go. Now, I know what some of you guys might be saying. Wouldn't some of these Superman be evil or something? And yes, you might be right, but these will be secret modes that Izumi can use and unlock in these things here. So it wouldn't be that bad. Alright, anyway, next. Alright, guys, next one is Kong Kenan. I guess the Chinese Superman. I don't know. Don't come for me in the comment section. Anyway, on to the powers and abilities. Alright, anyway, here we go. Alright, that's that. Next. And even after all these powers, she's still not stronger than my character. Ain't that crazy? But, the creator always makes himself even more broken than everybody else. So, moving on. Alright, now on to the more popular Superman. Stupid thing. Superman Prime 1,000,000. Alright, on to his powers. Okay, yeah, this is ridiculous. Anyway, just, yeah. Anyway, that's that. Next one. Alright, now for the Adventureverse. Basically, the My Adventures with Superman Clark Kent. And we're going to be going down his powers. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we go. Yeah, this is... The creators always make themselves, like, more powerful than what they're trying to give. But just imagine, I'm just giving Izumi all of these abilities. This is just absolutely crazy and funny. Alright, next one. Alright, now to the next one. Con-El, the new 52 Superman. Alright, see you at his powers. I ain't got no time to go down this whole wiki. Alright, here we go with this one. So we're just going to be going all of this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And keep in mind, I'm combining all of these into one, so this is just straight ridiculous what I'm giving her. Alright, next one. Alright, guys, now we're in Pyros, Superman, the future state. But, the Red King, doesn't matter. Onto the powers. Yeah, it's a lot. I know this is a lot, guys, but, hey, gotta keep up with it. Only thing that... And keep in mind, these are the Superman with no weaknesses. So there is no kryptonite to be vulnerable to, and she can use magic, so that doesn't really matter at all. Alright, anyway, next one. So here we are to the next one. I know Superman doesn't have solar manipulation, but just to make Izumi even more broken, why not give her the abilities to power herself up just for a quick boost? So imagine, you know how Saiyans can shoot like a Powerball into the sky for a fake moon? Well, Izumi can do sort of the same thing, but the opposite. She can pretty much throw a fake sun into the sky if it's at nighttime to pretty much give herself a mini power boost at that. Or just concentrate even more sunlight into her. So this is kind of busted already. Manipulate aspects of the sun. So, oh boy. Yeah, this is straight nuts. Limitations. She has to use her own solar manipulation for this stuff, but hey, it's fine. Moving on. Next. Alright guys, on to the next thing. These are just a few of the items I'm going to be giving her. The Kryptonian armor, just for a bit. Kind of like from the Absolute Superman mixed with, you know, the, My Adventures with Superman one. It's going to be a mixture of both, but hey, this stuff is pretty fucking awesome, so can't tell me something it's not. Yeah, Kryptonite's still the weakness. Anyway, moving on. Oh, wait. Just to show a bit. You see how that enhances heat vision, my guys? Stuff like that is busted. I mean, heat vision augmentation is just straight awesome. Just wanted to show you guys a bit of stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. Next. Alright, just like you guys saw with Kong Keenan Superman, just because he has the powers of yin and yang, giving him ki manipulation isn't really that far-fetched. Oh, and it's showing Kong Keenan Superman right here. So hey, to manipulate one's metaphysical energy. So kind of like Dragon Ball Z people in a way. So hey, moving on. So, Jesus, this is absolutely insane. This is awesome. This is probably my most powerful Izumi that I've made yet so far. And the story is only just beginning. And I'm giving her the abilities to do all of this. Oh, damn. I've created a monster. But, hey, still don't care that much. She'll be looking like a Dragon Ball Z character mixed with Superman. This is ridiculous. Limitations. Anyway, well, that's it. Still no weaknesses or limitations. Just moving on with this. Next. Alright, here we are. Kal-El, Earth 1. Oh, this is only going to get ridiculously more and more stupid. Nope, I'll just meet you at the powers. Alright, we're finally at the powers. Man, that took a while. Alright, here we go. Just pause and read at this point. Because I'm combining all these Superman into one. Because it took a lot of research, guys. You may not know, but it took a lot of research to get all these Superman down. Weaknesses. Vulnerability to magic. Nope. 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 Okay, well, that's that. Anyway, moving on. Alright, Kal-El of New Earth. Oh boy. Down to the powers. Let's just go. Alright, here we go. This is ridiculous. Oh, okay. Anyway, that's it. Next Superman. Alright, next one, the post-crisis Superman. Oh boy. Alright, just pause and I'll see you at the powers. Alright, here we go. So, yep, just going down more and more. I know for the time it may not look like much, but I'm just combining these all into just one big video thing. So, it'll all add up onto the actual video itself. Oh, wait, okay. Is there more? Yeah, there's still more. Oh, notes. Alright, that's it. Next Superman. Moving on. Alright, next one. Con-El of the New Earth. Ah, this one. Alright, next one. See you at the powers. Alright, guys, we're here, so let's do this. I know all these Superman powers might seem a bit, repetitive, but believe me, they do, see, look, telekinesis and all that. Yep. Some of them have unique abilities. Is that it? Okay, yeah. Next. Alright, next Superman. Jonathan Samuel Kent of Prime Earth. This Superman. Anyway, powers, let's move. Alright, here we go. Ah, alright, that's one. Alright, that's it. Next. Alright, the next one is the Milkman Superman. I don't even know why people do this, but hey, who cares? Oh, we already made it. Good, thank God. I wasn't even trying to do all this. Haven't seen Milkman Superman for the last I don't know how many years now, but hey. Oh, well, that was it. Damn, that was short. Well, fuck it. Next one. Anyway, we got pre-crisis Superman now. Oh boy. Oh, I guess we're already getting into it. No. Oh, alright, here we go. Next. Ah, well, damn, that was it already. Alright, next. Alright, guys, we're in the next one. The new 52 Superman. Oh boy. Alright, next. Let's go down to the powers. Alright, here we go. Yep. Ah, well, dang, that's already it. Alright, anyway, moving on. Next. Alright, next one. Oh, post-Flashpoint Superman. Alright, down to the powers. So let's do this. Yeah. This is absolutely nuts. Like, it's really sad because I want to believe that Goku can beat Superman, but just with all these abilities right here, it's damn near impossible. Because, oh man, this makes me very upset. Because I'm a firm believer in, like, Goku could beat Superman, like, one day, just not today, obviously, but damn, this makes me upset to see all this. Because there's just no excuse in this. You can't make up a feasible excuse for this. Even though I'm a diehard Dragon Ball fan. Alright, anyway, next one. Boop. Alright, now we're on to this one. Now, you guys might be asking, wait, why the heck is Doomsday on here? Well, let me answer that when we go down to the powers. Alright, we're down. So let me answer that. So, anyway, Doomsday is the being that killed Superman and is somehow a Kryptonian as well. So this is my thing. I'm giving Izumi these abilities just to enhance on there because Doomsday is also a bit of a Kryptonian. But not the virus or anything, obviously. Just the abilities here that this can work. Oh, dang. Well, that was it. Anyway, just the resurrection, the always evolving. So if you hit her with one thing, she's going to get stronger and evolve based off of that. So, yeah, a bit too much, maybe, but I don't care. Moving on. Okay, guys. Next thing, we got more Superman abilities. Hopefully when we go through this, just want to end this off, honestly. But nope. I do this for you guys. I do this for the people. Yeah, this is a lot. And I mean a whole lot. Oh, so this is going through all the Superman, like, over the years. So bear with me on this one. Oh, is it the same thing again? Probably. Hold on, let me see if there's any more. Oh, okay. Well, that's it. Anyway, with that being said, next thing. Alright, anyway, since I'm giving her magic, might as well become omnipotent over magic. So, hey, magical godhood, bro. So who freaking cares at this rate? I'm pretty sure no one's gonna care anymore. But hey, I've done everything I can for her at this point, so there's nothing much. Oh, well, damn. All right, at that point, it's pretty done. All right, on to the last Superman thing, and then we can continue. Well, with the story. All right, guys, this is the last Superman thing. Now, after this, we can continue on with the story. Man, this is ridiculous. Just pause and read, people. I got no time. Okay, anyway, moving on. Yeah, these are over the years, so, hey, who freaking cares at this point? Man, these comics just make it look ridiculous. That was a whole fucking accident. Oh, well, I guess that's it. Anyway, guys, that was all the Superman powers over the years, and giving Izumi all of this stuff, except the mini Superman and the Super Kiss. That was pretty fucking weird. Anyway, moving on with all this, tell me your guys' thoughts, and anyway, after all of Izumi's powers, let's get back to the video. Oh, also real quick, 5 likes if you guys want this video to continue, just to tell you that. Anyway, these were just the powers that I'm giving Izumi, and we still got to get into, like, you know, well, the fighting techniques she's going to use, because of course I'm teaching her how to fight. Anyway, moving on with that. If you truly thought I was done, then you guys are crazy. But just like I said before, also giving her the powers of Archie Sonic, meaning chaos control and the ability to go super and hyper. So essentially just made her broken beyond belief. So yeah, we're both only going to get stronger as time goes on. Izumi cried and was happy as she asked did it would really work. I just told her to try flying. And well, when she believed she could, she flew. For the first time she started flying. That's when the tears started again and she ran up to me and started hugging me. Man, thankfully I was as strong as she was because, well, and also that I also had Kryptonian abilities mixed with my Saiyan abilities, because if I didn't, oh boy, I feel like I probably would have been crushed by the strength. So I told Izumi right now, she probably has to work on holding back her power and strength, because now this is only just getting started, and well, time is only of the essence. Right. Now it's time to get to training. This, oh boy, it's only going to get even crazier. But still, let's move on. And I know you guys may not have picked up on that grandma comment I said earlier, but yep, like Izumi's grandmother is Nana Shimura. Inko is the daughter of Nana Shimura, also with her brother Kotaro. Kotaro is her older brother. Inko is the younger sister. So Inko's name is really Inko Shimura, but it changed to Midoriya because of Hisashi. So All For One never really found out about Inko. Oh man, this was really, really crazy. But hey, that's the part I wanted to discuss about. But hey, no, not on this right now. But still, we're going to cut to a few years later now. Well, 8 years later to be exact. Izumi looks way different now. Let me show you that, in fact. Bam! Yeah, like I said, Izumi looks way, way, way different from this. But anyway, I got to take it off this before YouTube condemns me. And I got to take it off this one too. Yeah, she's fucking adorable. Very developed, just like her grandmother. Alright, anyway, back onto this. This is the end of high school. Because, you know, I always make you way of college and everything. Because, you know, 18 plus is more gore and I can describe a lot more stuff. Because I couldn't do that in high school. I mean, well, in regular high school I use. But end of high school. Aldera, it's no longer Aldera Junior High. It's Aldera High at this point. Aldera High School. So at this point, it's the end of the school year now. Finally, college is on the horizon. The teacher comes in with that same shtick like before. So I have these recommendation papers here because you all might want to start working on your future. No, everyone starts to complain and do all that, this, that, yada, yada, yada. But then he throws the paper in the air. But why bother? I already know you all want to go to the hero course. And then everybody starts to cheer. Yes, it's true. You've all got some amazing and impressive quirks. But that'll only get you so far into the future. So you should start thinking about your careers right about now. And then Bakugo, with that classic line to start it all off, says it just like he once does in every AU. Hey, Teach, don't let me in with these bunch of losers. I'm the real deal, but these guys would be lucky to end up as sidekicks to some busted D-lister. You think you're better than us, Katsuki? Let's go, I'll take you all on. Bakugo with that god complex yet again. Every time. You know, it's really stupid because everyone just thinks he's this all-powerful god, even though I beat him multiple times in front of people in the school. But they still believe he's stronger because he has a flashy quirk. And me and Izumi don't really show off our quirks. So everyone is always riding on Bakugo's junk, riding his coattails, and always believing he's this, he's that, he's the best, yada, 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 all that. But me and Izumi don't really care about that stuff. We just have to do our own thing. And, well, here we go. And then the teacher looks at the registration. Oh, Bakugo, I see you want to go to UA? Like, wait, he's trying out for nationals? I hear that school has a less than 1% rate. Man, like, only the best of the best can go there. And Bakugo rises on his desk. And that's why it's the only school being worthy of housing me. I aced the written exam. And I aced the physical exam. I'm going to be the coolest hero to ever exist. One even better than All Might. And it all starts at UA University. And then the teacher looks. Oh, we've also got 2 more registries for UA. We have Mr. Ryu Ohaki and Mrs. Izumi Midoriya. As everyone looks at us too. Everyone doesn't really care about me, but they still laugh at Izumi thinking she's still quirkless. Even though she can really kick most of these people's ass in this class. Because of the training with me, she's learned how to fight a lot. Like, very, very amazingly, in fact. But we're not focused on that right now. That'll be for a different time. But anyway, Bakugo gets up and starts to threaten me, which obviously doesn't work, because I can put him in his place anytime. But when he gets up and threatens Izumi, that's when I start to stand up. Give me one sec, guys. Sorry about that. Just a slight interruption. But anyway, on that note, Bakugo and me look each other dead in the eyes. The craziest thing is, I've grown insanely tall at this point. If you guys want to know, well, I'm just going to tell you because I don't care. My character is like straight up 10 feet tall. And I mean it, straight up 10 feet. Straight up 10 feet tall, and that is ridiculous. I'm the same height as the Ox King in regular Dragon Ball. So, hey, that's amazing. And Izumi's grown taller as well. Now, I don't exactly know how, but I guess it's probably something to do with the massive power she has, so her body has to grow to accommodate for it. So she's 8'3". Bakugo's like, what, 6'6"? Bakugo is 6'7". 6'7", get it? The fucking joke there. So Izumi kind of towers over him as well, with being that strong woman attitude. Kind of like an Amazonian woman. Jesus. But anyway, not the time for this. Anyway, the teacher stops us before a fight can break out. But still, me and Bakugo eye each other with death glares. Because it's pretty obvious. I knew Bakugo had a crush on Izumi, but his pride and ego wouldn't let it get in the way because she was quirkless. So we kind of abandoned her, and then I came in, and from his logic, I stole Izumi. So it doesn't really matter. Me and Izumi have been together for years at this point now. I'll just give you a backstory on that, like at a different time as well. But now, it's a different time. The bell rings, and anyway, me and Izumi just straight up leave together. Bakugo Bakugo had already stormed out, while me and Izumi just stayed talking for a bit longer. We end up taking a shortcut back home, because, well, there's no need to go the long way. So there's no overpass scene, no All Might scene, no successor, none of that. Just straight we do our own. We just straight end up going back to Izumi's house. Inko's already there waiting for us because it was the last day, and she asks us what are we gonna do over the next year of training that we have. I always make it a year. And I just told her that finally, with my dungeon raids being over at this point, I had finally unlocked a secret room where 1 day in the real world equals 10 years of training in that world. Izumi just says, wait, kind of like the hyperbolic time chamber? Yeah, exactly, but instead of 1 year, it's actually 10 years. Because, well, it's tied to my power and I upgrade it. And I upgraded it. So it's actually really useful that way. Awesome! You think we could train together for the year? Of course! Well, I don't see why not. And dealing with that, we've already made plans on how this would go. And Inko's just in the background smiling. Mom, you would be so proud of your granddaughter if you saw her now. She resembles you more and more every day. And I know with Ryuo at her side, she'll be safe. As Inko, but it gets up and walks over to us. All right, you two, settle down with this hero talk. You two have finally made it back home. Now it's time for dinner. What do you guys feel like eating? Let's try some katsudon. Yeah, my food is always katsudon with extra meats because I'm a very meat heavy kind of character. Pause on that one. But you know, being a Saiyan, gotta eat a lot of food. So big meals and stuff like that is a must for being a Saiyan. With me also being part Kryptonian as well, and having the same power and potential as Izumi, kind of crazy on how that stuff works. So katsudon with extra ribs and pork chops for me, but Izumi just has regular katsudon. But she has a few ribs on the side as well because my tastes are bleeding over into hers. But now's not the time for this. As finally, okay, a day or so after, I'm gonna say 2 days have passed, and me and Izumi are just training on Dagobah Beach, We cleaned that beach a long time ago. That'll be more in flashbacks in like later parts. As we're training on the beach together, Bakugo and his goons come up and everything, trying to pick a fight with us again. Oh great, what do you want now? Like, what now? The monkey getting a bit too great for the amazing Katsuki Bakugo, the next future #1 hero. The day you become #1 is the goddamn day the fucking devil comes out of the pits of hell and starts casting the apocalypse onto us. Damn. Like, really, like, and Bakugo gets angry. What did you say? You heard what I said. As the goons are getting ready, and Izumi stopped calling Bakugo Kachan years ago. They've lost that bond a long time ago, as I put reality into her that Katsuki was never her friend, if only the quirk is what he cared about, and not the actual person. Whatever. Anyway, I just came over to tell you two not to try out for UA. You two honestly think you have a chance? Ha! Like a chance in hell you would be better than me. You'd just be wasting everyone's time then. As I smirk and I say, really? Now, is that what you really think? It's what I know. Alright then, you got yourself a deal. What? We won't go to UA. Huh? Ryuo? As I walk over to Izumi and pull her close to me. We'll be going to Shiketsu instead. Wait, what? Huh? Like, yeah, you heard me right. We'll be turning the school that's tied with UA for the best, and we'll be turning it into the best. As the future #1 heroes will come from that school instead of UA. Like, Bakugo just laughs at the idea. Ha! Okay, wow, as if you couldn't even get any more delusional. Not only was UA out of your league, but Shiketsu is like turning Shiketsu into the best? You must have really have a few screws loose. Nope, it's not. In fact, we're going to start putting in a registry right now. Come on, Izumi, let's go do that. As Izumi's confused, but then she starts following behind me. Ryuo, what the hell was all that? I meant what I said. We're going to be... Instead of UA, I'm planning on enrolling for Shiketsu, Izumi. Like, what? But what about... My dream to become a hero is still the same, Izumi. It's just... I refuse to deal with that gigantic prick named Katsuki Bakugo. I'm not dealing with his attitude or his constant whining or berating. I'm going to a place where I know he won't be. That way I can actually enjoy myself and enjoy my school year with my classmates. I know it was a on-the-spot decision that I said you were going to join, but I don't expect you to follow me if you don't want. I'm coming with you. What? Izumi, please, you don't have to. No. As she walks up and grasps my hands. I want to. You are right. He's never really been my friend, and you're the only one that I really do trust and love, Ryuo. So if this is the route we're going to take, we're taking it together. I'm not leaving you behind, as you've never left me behind. Okay. Well, we're going to have to continue our training because we've only got 364 more days. Okay. As our training begins and the story will continue. As for now, guys, this is where we're going to be cutting it off. Yes, we are going to be heading to Shiketsu for this route, while Bakugo heads off to UA. I wanted to make this story unique and, well, go my own route for this, while also keeping it well within the narrative of the story. But I know you guys might be very confused on how this works. But hey, if you guys want a part 2, 5 likes and I'll give it to you. We're also on the road to 500, so please subscribe and like the video. With that being said, y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace, guys.
I'm with your hoe in the house on the hills, yeah. I'ma keep it real, at the sacrifice and try to get my bands up. Shorty wanna fuck with me, she see me on the camera. She said she in love with me, but really I can't stand her. She just want part of this life, cause she see me on the ground. Double tap like who I am. She can get dangerous, ride with the blam. She can get dangerous, she can get dangerous.